No shading? No kidding. Let's get painting. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good day. So today I'm going to be painting the Specialists from Marvel Zombies, a Zombicide game by Simon Games. These guys are the runner types of this Zombicide game. They're actually like the zombie versions, but in human form, and they're normal people because you're playing the zombies as the good guys kind of thing. It's kind of complicated. Anyways, I forgot completely that I hadn't painted any of these up, nor have I painted the troopers. I was hoping to I was like, oh yeah, I'm finished a box for this game, but of course I'm not. And of course Simon puts 16 of these guys in a box, only 2 different poses. So painting them in batch painting is very long, and you know what I think about batch painting. Anyways, I'm gonna eventually paint the other 14 of these ones. Anyways, for now, let's take a look and see if shading is actually necessary on miniatures. So I had a lot of fun base painting these guys. I actually did the Macrog blue from Citadel Color on the female specialist, and on the male one I did the ultramarine blue, and then I did a zenithal highlight of phantasmal blue in the air paints. Alright, so that was my base coating here, and we're going to be doing the longest part pretty much on this miniature, but having done all that base coating already is simplifying the task of having to batch paint 16 of these miniatures. You already have your blue done, your nice light blue tone, because they have a really cool armor tone to them, which is a dark and light blue almost. Anyways, I'm trying to follow the artwork as much as I can, and I'm trying to keep also the painting to a minimal because you have 16 of these to paint. And you know, you're also trying to see, okay, can I also avoid shading a miniature? Is it really necessary? Well, at the end you're going to see, yes, I'm using a shade, but there is something I could have done instead, what I thought of after. I just want to simplify my life because the 2 colors I'm using, one for the armor here, and 2 for the smoke that's underneath from the trail that they're leaving behind from running so fast, amazingly, is almost identical, and I really want to differentiate them, and I could have done it a totally different way. So again here, I'm just showing you quickly like all the armor on these guys, what I'm painting on them, all the white. So I sped through it because it's pretty much, it would have been the entire video as you watching me do all their armor stuff. So you're able to just catch up with it as you go here. The next color we're going to be using is some fog gray from Army Painter. Again, we're using this on the glasses and just the tip of their batons here, just to make it look like there's electricity coming out of those batons. And the glasses have this really cool lightish blue, silvery gray color to them. Anyways, and then we're doing the skin on both of them as Dorado skin. This is one of the Army Painter skin tones. I don't know why they don't have images for these bottles, so I'm sorry if it just pops up quickly and you miss out on that. But I mean, you can use any skin tone, which I will be doing a variety of on the rest of the specialists. I just went with one for both of them on this one here. But you can see I actually changed their hair color on both of them. I'm going to use different hair colors, maybe on all of them. I don't know yet. And also, you just don't forget, okay, it's important, I've learned this lesson over time. Wet your brush before you start painting. Put it on a wet palette, you know, thin down your paints a bit, and make sure that the tip of your paint, look at my paintbrush here. It's got paint a little bit higher up, but it's not blobbed on, okay? And when you have the blobbed on paint, that's where you're going to smear it on spots you don't want it. It's going to be too thick. And you just want to slightly brush it over, and if it covers up perfectly the first time, great. Sometimes it won't. You're going to come over a second coat, or sometimes is what you want actually is it not to coat perfectly, and you're going to have some of that undercoating coming through, just as of like a shadowy effect, right? You don't always want to get every nook and cranny of what you're painting, because sometimes you want that underpainting to come through as your shadow effects. But as you can see, as you're painting this miniature with all the different colors, you can see that those blues that I use as a base and as a zenithal highlight is just making the miniature pop. It is really going to make them look amazing on the table, I think. Way better than just, I think they were brown before, if I'm not mistaken. They were like a brown plastic. This just ups your game literally. You know, you're just having a lot of fun painting your miniatures. You're getting them to the table. And, oh yeah, and I want to talk about this too. I was watching this YouTuber the other day, and I'm not going to mention who it was, but at the beginning, it really sounds like he's got the fastest painting method. And to be honest, I think I've got faster painting methods than this guy. He just goes, he's like, okay, we're gonna start with almost basic what I did. A nice undertone highlight with a zenithal. But then he goes into all the details. He's like, well, you don't have to paint quickly here and there. But then he starts painting every edge, every highlight, every detail. And I'm like, well, this at first is like, oh, great, I'm going to be able to paint this really quickly. And then I was at the end, I was like, well, this is just like every other painter out there that says you can paint like me, but it's not going to be that easy. You're going to have to work hard at it, which is fine. You can work hard at your paint jobs. I try to work as much as I can to make them look amazing miniatures, and I also make them easy for you guys to use to follow through as well. And here's this ghoul gray, so I'm going to just stop here. This is the color I was going to use on the smoke, right? And I thought it was a little bit grayer, even in the bottle, and when it came out on the wet palette, it was grayer. And then I started putting on here, and it's almost the same color as the armor gray. Even when it dries, it's practically the same, so you can't see the difference between the boots and the smoke. So I will fix this. So what I should have done is what I've seen people do is put a light color like this and then highlight the areas with a dark gray, like an ash gray or something, or a smoky gray color, just to keep the shadows, and technically the recesses, the light color. So you're doing an opposite shadow effect, because the inside of smoke is usually the lighter, I think, and then the outside is where the darker gray dust is really, the particulates are really heavy, and that's where it's going to show more of the dust. So what I'm going to do is going against this video and saying I don't use shade, which I will actually use a shade to fix this issue down here. I want you guys to try not shading your miniature and trying to fix it. It is, if you are able to do it, I mean, especially with a zenithal highlight. Look, I didn't even go and put like a blue shade on top, because sometimes when you do that, you're covering up all those mixtures of colors you did. Like, you did a nice blend of light and dark, and then you sometimes put a shade on, and I find it just blends it all together. You don't even see the difference between a light and dark unless you actually highlight areas again with a lighter blue or a lighter color on top of that. Anyway, so, and this was a miniature you guys voted on. It was super close with this and Dr. Siobhan from Black Rose War, so he'll be going up against the next miniature, and the next miniature is one that a lot of people were waiting for and talking to me in my Discord, looking forward to seeing it. And if you guys want to join my Discord, the link is in the description. You come and share what you've worked on. If you actually use one of my videos to paint one of your minis, I'd love to see it. So join my Discord and come take a look at that. I'd love to see what you're painting, what you're working on. Maybe you have board games that you have that I've never heard of that you've painted and like to share your work with others. Anyways, so yeah, just doing some finishing touches here, making those metallic parts look metallic. And here's a shade. Here I go. I'm going against my video here, and I'm putting it, it's Soul Blight Gray, which I used to love super a lot on white, but I just want to tint down a little bit that smoke. And there you have it, folks. Marvel Zombies, the specialists who attack the zombie heroes, are painted and ready for the table. I want to give a great big thank you to Mark Schultz for a $20 tip in supporting my channel. Thank you so much. We'll see you all in the next one.